Okay, Dad, you're getting ready to go skiing with your kids, but you don't know what gear you need. It's been a long time since you've been out on the slopes and your kids have grown. So what things should you have for your kids to wear to be comfortable and warm? Let's discuss. Hey, welcome to Hyper Academy. My name is Ryan Fields-Spack. It's a ruthless world out there. How do you stand up and step out? You do it by getting your mind right, and that's what Hyper Academy is here to talk about. Today, we're talking a series about skiing. I live here in beautiful Colorado. I have 3 wonderful children with my wife, and we make it a process for us to go skiing every single chance we get. We're close enough to where we've got a bit of a process set up, and I want to share that with you today. Specifically, from soup to nuts, what should your child be wearing, and how can you make sure that they stay warm and comfortable on the slopes? It's absolutely critical. So, without further ado, let's dive into Callan, our middle kiddo's ski bag, and the activities that he has and the things that he wears. All right, what do I make sure to have as far as gear and things for my kiddo to wear from the ground up? A lot of these things are personal preferences, but from our perspective, having 3 kids, 2, 5, and 8, we've kind of gone through the gamut of what they need, what works for them, and most importantly, what keeps them warm and happy on the slopes. So this is really one of the things that works for us. Take it for what you want and what you will. I'll have links for all of these in the description below if you're interested in learning more about them. But if you got a kiddo and you want to get them out on the slopes, having them comfortable and most importantly, having them warm is a key. Second only to snacks and water to make sure that they're super happy. So starting from the ground up, as I said, we have long underwear. So long underwear, something like this, super thin, super soft. This is Land's End, but you got any myriad of different options that are available to you to make sure that they are keeping that nice warm base layer on and in place from that perspective. So these are great. They absolutely love them. Typically when we leave early in the morning to drive up skiing, we leave around 5:45 or 6 a.m. We have them sleep in these the night before with their socks on, which I'll show you next, so that they're ready to just jump in the car, get a blankie, get a snack, get their breakfast, and we can keep going. That way they're ready to go. One less thing for them to have to do in the morning. So having those are huge. Underneath that, socks. These are really good, nice smart wool, obviously ski socks, nice and long. They've got a little pad, kind of a shin pad right here, which is really good and really helpful to make sure that they're more comfortable in those skis and the ski boots. And if they're snowboarding, same type of thing. This will definitely help. But having nice, good wool socks will really help to keep those toes warm as they go throughout the day. On top of that long underwear would be some type of fleece, right? So we've got, again, a Land's End fleece right here. Pretty thick, pretty comfortable, and really helps to keep that warmth in from that perspective as they are skiing down the mountain. So this is an absolute must as they're moving forward, of course, depending on the size, and we've got a bunch for each of the kiddos moving forward from there. Having a good beanie, especially while they're getting ready and out of the car and getting all their boots and things on so they don't get an initial chill, is huge. We make the long ones so that they'll go around their ears and we don't have to worry about them not being on all the way. So good beanie is huge while they're getting ready, but of course they're going to want to wear a helmet while they're actually out skiing and doing things like that. Once you start getting all their gear on, we start off with our pants. So there's a number of different kids type pants here. These ones are cool, again, Columbia, but they have the ability to extend out a little bit farther. So if they grow, you can last for more than 1 or 2 seasons. So these are nice. What you want to make sure that you have is large open pant openings down here at the bottom so that you can put this around their ski boot or their snowboard boot and this will fall all the way down. There's nothing more weird looking, in my humble opinion, than really tight ski boots or pants that are high up on there. 1, it'll let a lot of snow in. 2, it just doesn't kind of really look the part. And then you can see these have a nice wear area right here. So these are specifically designed for skiing, not just snow pants for running around out in the snow. So these are really helpful. These are pretty darn insulated as well. So what I've found is that their legs don't get necessarily as cold, so we can get away with having just his long underwear and these pants, and he never really complains because these pants do a good job with it. So something to think about. Now, one thing also to keep in mind is you want your ski pass for your kiddo to be somewhere on their person. So as long as it's in a zippable pocket, that's going to be the most important part. So we know he's always going to be wearing his pants. So I'm going to make sure that his ski pass is zipped in there so that they can scan it and we always know that we have it. We're not going to have a problem while we're waiting in line to get on the lift. So good ski pants right there. And then of course you've got your ski jacket. Ski jacket is also incredibly important. Between the base layer, that fleece, and this, he's usually pretty darn warm from that perspective, so we've been pretty impressed by that. And all of this has worked really well. So this jacket's great. We've been pretty impressed with Columbia. This one in particular is a little bit smaller size. I've got another video where I show you my older son's jacket that also has a snow powder skirt. That's built in as well, so something to think about. But these jackets are great and they're really helpful to have, and they really do keep them warm. In addition to that though, you definitely want to have the ability to give them some neck warming protection, right? So you got a couple of different options depending on how they feel. There's something like this that's super small, super thin, that can go around their neck, just kind of a little neck protector, and keeps them kind of warm. On cold days though, this just won't cut it. So you're gonna wanna do something like this, which might be a little bit warmer. The name of this is Black Strap, and we absolutely love these because you can see they're a little bit thicker. They've got a little bit more to them, and they can really keep that neck and that chin warm. But specifically, if you're really looking for something to keep them super warm, you can do something like this balaclava here. These are great, and they're really helpful to keep them warm because, as you can see, they're super thick, super soft inside, and it goes over their helmet and can cover all the way up. So on really cold days, if your kid will tolerate it, mine right now doesn't. We're working to get him to get back into it. This is going to be a great option, especially for their helmet when you are talking specifically about ensuring that their helmet fits correctly. I would never put your kids on the slopes without a helmet, my personal opinion. Not necessarily because you think your kids are going to fall. It's all the other yahoos that are out there skiing and boarding around you that might hit your child. And I've got a video just yesterday of someone almost hitting my 8-year-old, which I'll put in there. And sometimes you just can't avoid it, right? So the helmet's huge. They're usually pretty warm. But again, if you can have them do this balaclava over it, you want to make sure that when they have their goggles down over their eyes, that there's as little gap in between the top of their forehead and these goggles as possible. This one's actually a little bit small for our kiddo, so we've got a gap about like this, and he's got bare skin that's showing up here, which shows me that this helmet's a little too small. Even with the adjustments that are available right here, this helmet probably needs to be handed down to his little sister, and we'll move to his bigger brother's helmet, and we'll just keep passing him down that way. We're always passing the gear down. And then having a good set of goggles that are small enough to not scrunch their nose and stop them from breathing through their nose. That's definitely a non-starter for most of the kiddos. But again, good helmet, huge, definitely want to have that. And then finally, just as importantly, is having good mittens. So there's a lot of different options out there. These mittens are great. We found that he really loves them. The only thing I don't like about these is it doesn't have a little leash that wraps around their wrist. So when they do take this off, they're having the potential to lose it. But these things are super warm, waterproof, a great way to go, and you can cinch them down so it will stay more onto their wrists. So there you have it. That is everything that we have in Callan, our middle 5-year-old kiddo's ski gear bag. And those are the things that he wears from bottom to top. And we absolutely love it. Let me know, what do you think should be added to this bag? What things do you think could be taken away? Any tips that you have, put them in the comments. Love to hear from it. Hope that was helpful for you so you could make sure that you have the right things for your kids. As I said, leave a comment below. What do you think should be beneficial? What should be added to that? You know, in addition to all of these different things that we're talking about from a product perspective, one thing that we often overlook is making sure that our mind is right, that we're not stressed out when we're doing all of these things pertaining to skiing. And that can be really overlooked, and there's ways to allow yourself to not get stressed and frustrated during the ski experience. I've left a comment or a link down below that you can learn a little bit more about how to calm yourself within 10 seconds so you can focus better and improve upon your ability to perform for your kids so that the things that are causing stressors around don't get amped up. Take a look at that link. It's a completely free guide that you could download and learn more about if you're interested. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.